Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for December 16th through the 22nd, 2024. So, as we begin this reading, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us again as we get closer to the Christmas holidays and other holidays that are celebrated at this time. So if you're new to our Angelic Wisdom community, then welcome. And also make sure that you take the opportunity to subscribe and select the all notification bells so that if you get any, as any readings are uploaded, you'll be aware of them. So I'm recording this sort of a weekend ahead of the week of every week that you view, or the week that you're viewing this. And so we're getting really close to the end of the year and preparing for a new year in 2025. So let's take a deep breath. And to just tune in to the wisdom and love of your angels who are holding you in safety. Feel their warmth and their love surrounding you now. And to increase the frequency and light of your angels, breathe in through the crown of your head the glorious golden Christ light. And with each breath, breathe it deep into the cells of your body, drawing it all the way down into your feet. And as you continue to breathe in and out, the golden light expands all around you, enfolding you in a cocoon of golden, angelic wisdom, love, and guidance. And allow the light to warm you from within and open up a stargate to the angelic realm. And see yourself walking through that stargate. And in the center, you see a lotus. Seated in the center of the stargate, like a throne, and allow yourself to rest comfortably within the lotus and absorb the light that is radiating from it. And notice what colors it is offering you, and just absorb the light. And it might even change, offering you different frequencies to refresh and rejuvenate your soul. And Archangel Michael is placing around you his cosmic sapphire. And just breathe it in and allow it to expand. As you open up to your soul's truth. And you might feel a sudden grounding as Archangel Sandalphon connects you into the pyramid of hollow earth. As you are seated in the lotus, allow yourself to feel roots growing from your Earth Star chakra, going all the way down into the golden pyramid of hollow earth. And Archangel Sandalphon is anchoring your energy and your chakras so that you begin to establish your fifth dimensional chakras all the way up to your stellar gateway. And feel the wisdom begin to focus through your chakras from the earth wisdom of hollow earth. And just release any illusions and beliefs that your ego has been holding on to or in some way meddling in the weak. And just absorb the love and allow it all to be transmuted, forgiven, and healed. And as we just tune in now to this week for December 16th through the 22nd, 2024, take a moment to just listen to your angels' wisdom and guidance. They're asking you to really reflect on what gives you pleasure. And it may be something that you have not been able to make time for recently. And it's really important that you don't neglect the pleasures of life, especially those things that allow you to have a really deep connection with your soul and to really feel just how alive and thriving your soul truly is. When we neglect those pleasures, we can forget just how much the soul thrives and how strong you truly are. And it seems as though that you need to set some boundaries on your space and your time. And so, what they mean by that in terms of your space is making sure that you have enough space to nurture you, to create room for the things that give you pleasure, whether it's a hobby or whether it's just a walk in the sunshine, or to just relax in um, a jacuzzi, or, you know, to just clear your mind in a sauna. Whatever it is, make sure that you create boundaries of space and time to allow yourself to indulge in the pleasures that give you an awareness of just how much your soul is thriving. And that seems to be a very important message right now. The soul is thriving. And there's so much going on that's bombarding us to make us feel very disconnected from our souls. And we keep taking on more and more responsibilities because we've forgotten how to enjoy ourselves. We've forgotten how to take pleasure in life. And that's easy to do when you're constantly worried about a lot of things that may go wrong, or they may not go wrong. And while you're pouring all of that energy into that, you're forgetting your thriving soul and the power that a thriving soul can feed your life with, can feed your reality with the desires and outcomes that you truly want and that you truly need. We are not prisoners to our world or our reality. We are the creators of it. And if you've, in such a way that you've created your reality, have made yourself a prisoner within that reality, that does not negate your power. Unfortunately, it's just the kind of use of power that does not bring us pleasure, but is no less your creative power. And so it's spinning for you in such a way that you can't detach yourself from the influence of your ego. But they write anatomy, which is kind of a weird thing to just write in the middle of that sentence. But I guess they're bringing us back to the awareness of our body, the entire machine that is running itself without your conscious awareness, and yet is also able to heal itself from many of the miscreations of our attention to beliefs and thoughts and ideas that do not fulfill us. And it still keeps trying to regenerate life for you so that you can experience the realities that you're creating. But what if we just put our attention to the magnificence of our body and just be present with it? Even though we may know, and some more than other, the basics, the basic science of our anatomy, and be even aware of some of the spiritual laws that is governing us at all times. But connecting in with your body and all of its cognitive abilities. I don't know how to really say this, but the feeling I get is that our bodies, it's a living, it has a consciousness. It's living. And our soul and our bodies are interconnected. And your body is one way for you to connect to the feedback of your soul. One way for you to reconnect with the consciousness of your soul, and vice versa. And if the soul and the body can be in harmony, this might be the weirdest way to say it, but can be in harmony with the pleasures of the soul and body, you can begin to sort of distract yourself from the reality that you've created that you're unhappy with. And through just being present with them for even the smallest amount of time, you can begin to generate a new reality where you understand or perceive this energy from the thriving light of your soul and your heart and your body. And they write about Christmas. It's a time for us to enjoy all the pleasures of life that life can offer us. The sense of generosity, sense of universal love and unconditional love that pours through at this time, the Christ light that pours through and onto the planet at the highest frequency and the highest rate of speed and influence. We can tune into each other, ourselves, and all the things that unite us. And what I get a sense of, if we at the end of this year really pour ourselves in to the thriving souls that exist within us and our common bonds of light, that this light can together conquer all in 2025. It's very important that in order for unity to happen, that we must first have unity with ourselves. with the things that gives us pleasure. And through that, you offer that gift to others. And the gift of love is its own unifying source and healing source. And nothing that we fear can withstand or stand against that kind of strength and that kind of power and that kind of thriving light. All right, let's take a look. I'm messing with my setup here. Probably shouldn't, but okay. So let's take a look at the Archangel. Okay, it's Archangel Mallory. And the thing that I'm really focused on is that heart with the Holy Spirit, the dove. And so this is really a time for us to connect in and to really focus on love. And first, you have to find that love in yourself. If you are feeling a lot of resentments, disappointments, or you're frustrated at this time, then let that be a sign, an indicator to you where you're focusing instead of love. And Archangel Mallory brings in, you see her colors burgundy, she brings in this very deep golden, it almost becomes burgundy wisdom. And she holds the Christ light for us all. So let's tune in to Archangel Mallory for a moment and see if there's any message. And this is really about the time for nurturing yourself. And making space to breathe. Like really, and it's about, she talked about the out breath in a sense of just letting go. So it's one thing to take a deep breath, to gather your thoughts, help you get a little bit of a pause and to focus in the center. But when you release the breath, she wants you to really focus, and she writes, yes, on just letting go of as much as you can in this week. Every time you feel your pressure is up, or you're really frustrated, or you're really just tied in a knot, or you're emotionally just feeling anxious, let go. And what she's getting, the sense I'm getting is, let go of all those little things that you think are really important, that you think must be done, that must take out must from your vocabulary in this week. And as you breathe out and you let go and you just release all those musts and let your energy rest. At the end of that rest and that letting go, you'll know what is really feasible for you to get done. You'll know what's really feasible to offer. You'll know you'll get to the heart of a matter. And you'll find that your shoulders, the burden that you're carrying, will be far lighter. And just keep noticing how each time you do this, that you're just collecting too much and working yourself about too much, and that it's just really a simple thing to focus upon, a simple gift, a simple idea, a simple expectation. Give simple expectations to others. Think of a simple gesture to offer, a simple gesture that really says what's on your heart. Let's not go into the new year, with a lot of congestion. And just know what's enough. Know when you've done enough. Hopefully, not when you're so far in that you bypassed enough a long time ago. Read the signs as you're, so I get the sense of like being on the road and you see these signs coming up, but they say enough. When you see that sign coming up in your heart, just say, accept it. It's enough. Breathe and let it go. Because that enough is your enough. And the other stuff that you think that you need to do, that's somebody else's enough. Trust that the universe does not like a vacuum, and it will fill it in. Somebody else, others will fill in all those things that you think you have to do. Just let it all be enough. It's not giving up. It's not letting people down. But it's actually giving you back space and time to be a thriving light, to enjoy the experiences that you're offering yourself, whether they are challenging or not. There is something that you can learn, and learning is also a pleasure. That there is something that you can enjoy as well. The more you learn to embrace enough, the challenges and the celebrations seem equal to one another. She says, remember who you are and take action when you are ready. But you can't do that until you know what enough is. Because that's when you start trusting your gut. You trust your intuition, your angels. When you embrace enough, then you'll always know what's the right action for you and how to make the right decisions. It's overriding our responsibility that gets you into this space of ego where you can be played with and manipulated. All right. So we have the Fool. And I don't know, it just feels kind of trippy right here, right? It's sort of like after all of that, you know, this is about new beginnings, the Fool. And it's also the Fool just follows the heart. And in a world where where everything is structured and ordered by time and measured by how much you do or how big something is or how small something is. you know the fool is sort of oblivious to all of that because it's so busy just listening, being in touch with what's guiding it, and sometimes ignoring little warnings. But I like to think of, my grandmother always used to say, God always watches out for fools and babies, right? So whether we are fools for following our heart or babies just because we don't have much experience or knowledge of something, it's better to be free ultimately and to somehow figure out how to keep yourself free out of a prison of your own making. It also resonates with that, what we've been talking about, opportunities. It's where we need to be. Is afraid of risk, but think of them as opportunities. And here we have the Eight of Wands. So there's sort of this, opportunity and putting ourselves out there and things just sort of happening very rapidly. Now this can feel overwhelming, and there may be a wind of change moving through our lives or influencing our lives. There might be lots of unexpected, this Uranus energy that the Fool kind of is associated with. There might be a lot of unexpected surprises. And there might be some expectations that are, suddenly just show up, right? You just didn't have a sense of the timing, but it was something that you had set in motion, but maybe it just comes faster than you thought. And, that can be overwhelming because now what am I supposed to do with this? Like, maybe somebody just suddenly decides to pop in for a visit and, you're in the middle of a whole bunch of other things and you want to make a whole thing about like, I can't really do this right now, and let that turn and spiral into something. And so you don't experience the pleasure of what this unexpected visitor might bring, because the whole time you're just thinking about all this other stuff. And so if there's some type of interruption in your life in this week, go with that flow. Go with the flow. This is how the universe is kind of asking you to see this on the mundane level with this major arcana, sort of the energy that's influencing, that go with it, go with the flow. Know that that interruption is there for a reason, and maybe you need that distraction, but just breathe and release, and then focus on, in the moment, what's really important and plausible. I'm hearing as well. So the moon, and I don't know, for me, just the word unpredictable comes up, right? Because in those shadows, we don't know what in our shadows can trigger us. So be aware of, triggers, being triggered by things that we don't feel, when are being triggered because, when we're not prepared. That's like a trigger, right? I hope I'm getting that out right. But be just be aware of your reactions when you don't have control, because this week definitely feels like there's not going to be much control. And so what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that energy? again, it does feel like a wave of change and an opportunity for some restructuring, an opportunity for space to be made for something pleasurable, right? And think of it as like a gift from the universe, just just disrupting your routines that just lack so much um, joy and enjoyment. All right, let's take a look at the card I already pulled from the bottom of the deck. The Strength card. So they have the 8 again with the 8 of Wands. How that plays. So this is giving me a sense that you have the strength. You have the strength, and it's about, to deal with these sudden, currents that bring unexpected visitors or bring things ahead of time. It's great. Think of it as like you would rather be later because you'd be prepared, but it's early, you're not prepared. But think about it, it's here, which means now is the time. So just drop whatever you're doing and focus on that, because it's something you planned for, and don't curse it because it came early. You might have underestimated yourself, and need more space and time to really, for something to go the way you want it to go. And so, this card gives me a sense of working with those dueling forces within you. This, presents a challenge, but try to remain calm. Don't try to control the situation, but try to meld with it. Keep asking yourself, what is this? What opportunity? What is this teaching me? What opportunities is this opening me up to? And if you can't find the answers, don't get frustrated about that. Just trust and keep going with it. And trust that what you need will come. Like the pieces are going to fall together, even though, the doorbell hasn't rung for all those pieces to announce their arrival. But just know that they're going to come together. The people or things will show up as you need them. And they're going to show up, they just wrote, at the pace that you need them. So if you feel like you're waiting, then you need to release and breathe, and let that release sort of recalibrate your sense of timing and reduce. So it's like an opportunity for reduction of expectations, responsibilities. And they're writing more time to celebrate. You feel like you got more time in your hands because of something unexpectedly happening, then celebrate, however that resonates with you. All right, so as you can hear, I'm a little under the weather again. Since the second week of September, this is how I started, with the cold, and my voice went. But this time, I was able to get a recovery in the last 2 days to get my voice back. I didn't have a voice yesterday, but I was able, thank God, to speak to you today. And so I wish you a beautiful week and a lovely approaching holiday season, and just hope that you can allow what the universe is trying to support you through and help you to understand in this week. God bless you.